for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, Easy Mutt. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's good, guys? Ben on Fire here, back in the video, and today I got a very special one for you guys. We're going to be going over one of the best and most underrated one-play touchdowns in the game, as well as some other money setups that won't result in touchdowns, but are still very good setups out of one of the most popular formations in all of Madden. We're talking about the gun trips tight end, and the play we're running is going to be this X spot. Now, this is a one-play touchdown that I rarely see online, but it is still very good. A lot of people have been asking me, what's a cover 3 beater out of gun trips tight end? How can I score in one play out of this formation? And we're going to be showing you that today. A very simple yet effective setup. Now, you don't necessarily need any abilities for the one-play touchdown. I do recommend you can't, if you want, get gunslinger or set feet lead. You get those quicker throwing animations. Also, for some of our other setups, we're going to use the backfield master and the tight end apprentice. You could also use hot route master, which is obviously what we're rocking today. But yeah, for our first setup, which will be the one-play touchdown, you don't actually need any abilities. So if you're running draft champs, whatever, you could still do it. Also, make sure you guys put your fastest player right here in the slot where we got speedy Scotty Miller right here. And overall, it's going to be very effective. Again, we're running the X spot. Run your trips on the wide side of the field. And yeah, let's go ahead, hop straight into it. I also wanted to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 14,000 subscribers. If you're new, if you've been here a while, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to support the channel and shows me that you want me to continue uploading these videos for you guys for free. So yeah, hit that subscribe button, hit that like if you enjoy this video. Here we are out on the field now, just taking a look at our player. You see we got a couple of things to notice. We got a corner route with Y, which will be important, Chris Godwin right there. We have our slot receiver on a flat, little spot route with X, and then you see the rest of the routes are pretty much useless. So we're going to be hot routing, doing a lot of stuff to change our route combination. But first things first, we're going to focus in on the corner route. Now, a lot of these popular cover 3 beater in general are going to be corner to fade or streak routes. The corner pulls down the outside third, and you can throw the streak pass lead over the top outside, basically past them. So that's again what we're going to be doing. First things first, what you're going to do is you're going to throw B just on a fade route. Now you could do a streak. They both work. Here's a look at what a streak looks like. But if you do the fade, he moves out just like one step further outside. And sometimes that can be the difference between, an interception, an incomplete pass, or a touchdown. So I always go with the fade route. You're not really losing much in time just with the one step to the outside. So overall, I don't see any downside to running the fade route. Again, the corner route is good. He's basically at 10 yards, so you don't have to smart route, do anything fancy. But we will have to use some motion, and we have to do some other things with our routes. Now, as far as our other route combinations, there's a couple of things I could do. If I wanted to block my running back, I could block him. In a route combination I would do is I would probably throw A on like a corner route. I would probably smart route him, and then I would just motion Evans on his spot route, turn him into kind of a hitch. So I'm going to motion him over. Now, the reason you have to motion him over, take a look at that middle safety. You see when I motion that outside receiver over, he's going to shift completely to that right side. And basically what that does is it's going to open Scotty Miller right there. You see I don't even have Gunslinger when I'm running this. I do have the set feet lead ability, but that's probably half a second slower or 0.5 times slower than Gunslinger, I would say, around there. So again, we don't even have Gunslinger, and I was able to throw that touchdown. So you get Gunslinger, you get that Slinger 1 or Slinger 2 animation, whatever Favre and Rodgers have. You will be absolutely cooking with this play. But yeah, so the key to opening this up is going to be Mike Evans. So I'll show you what it looks like if I don't motion Mike Evans over. The safety is going to be on that left side. And you'll see pretty much that it's not going to work. He's just completely covered. You would need Mahomes and Tyreek Hill to complete that pass. Realistically, no other combination in the game would be able to do it. So overall, it's not going to be something you can do. Now, I've kind of played around with it. One thing that you could maybe do to open it up is just throw Gronkowski on a streak. It kind of splits the safeties, gives you a little bit of room. You see he's going to kind of stretch out. So this is going to give us some room. That's a throwable ball, but overall, 2 receivers on a streak. If he deep halves, you're kind of in a tough position because you've wasted 2 routes, and then you have to work with what you have. So That's a route combination that you could do, but again, it's more effective if we can use that tight end on whatever route we want. We can still motion Evans over and have some effective route combinations. So you saw that first one. Let's hop into some other things you could do. First things first, maybe I would go with like an A on a drag, my running back on a flat, and X on a curl. So I'm going to run it like this. What I'm going to go ahead and do is motion snap Evans on that right hand side because we don't want the curl going all the way to the outside. So I'm going to motion him over again here, just like so. And again, I could actually smart out. Why? Because when I motion, he kind of shifts and he runs a little bit deeper. It's not really going to make a difference in the long run, but that's something that I could do if I want the cornerback to go a little bit more shallow. I'll actually show it next time. But yeah, you see the one play touchdowns open pretty much every time. Showing you guys that route combination. Again, that was A on a drag, my running back on a flat, X on a curl. And again, what I was talking about with Chris Godwin, you see he's right on the numbers when I do that, but when I motion over, he's going to get a little bit deeper because he motions kind of upwards, so I can actually smart out why after that. I'm not sure how this affects it. I haven't really tried it, but you see he's going to get open. We did get shedded, so we got hit. I mean, if you do have a little bit of mobility, that will definitely help. If you could get out of the pocket, it's not necessary. Usually you'll be able to throw this ball in the pocket, and again, a lot of people aren't sending 4-man rushes these days, so that's not too much of a concern. But yeah, let's just show this one more time, and then we'll hop into some other route combinations. Actually, let's just talk about if they deep half, because obviously, stock cover 3, it's going to get open. Let's go ahead deep half. So we're going to deep half that outside corner. It's not going to get open with the deep half, so we're going to do some other things. Now, the corner out can get open in this case, but obviously your receiver's not going to get open, so we have to do some other stuff. I could run a route combination like this, X on my spot, RB on an option. But yeah, you see Chris Godwin's going to get wide open over the top, so if they don't have their zone drop set to 20-25 yards, that's going to be wide open for them. And also when you motion Evans over, it's going to motion that curl flat over, because that's something I noticed. Someone was actually beating me with this play pretty heavily online because they were motioning him over. Even though I had my curl flats at 25 yards, they would get sucked all the way back into the inside that they still would not defend, and they're just strafing, pretty much defending nothing. So overall, this motion is very glitchy. Not too many people are going to motion over that outside receiver. But yeah, back to my point, let's hop into some other route combinations. Now, just for a base route combo, what I like to do is going to be A on a crosser, RB on a flat, and then we're going to just put X on a streak and B on a zig. So here's our setup. Now, in this setup, we're actually going to motion somebody different. We're going to motion Chris Godwin. So this one's not going to be a one-play touchdown, but it still is going to be a money play. You're still going to be able to pick up a good chunk of change, there. But yeah, you're just going to motion Godwin over, turn that corner into a post. You have the crosser, you have the post right behind it, you have a flat, and then you have a zig. Overall, it gives you a nice set of options. You see both players were wide open. Even the zig was open early, but I could have lowballed that post. I have a ton of space with my crosser. It's really difficult to defend. You're forcing him to also double flat, or at least hard flat on this right side. For our previous setups, we had a corner out behind it, so we might be forced to pretty much double or just Mabel on both sides with the over the top and underneath the zones. Really limiting him in his back end and middle adjustments, so we can kind of stress the middle of the field a little bit more. Anyways, again, that setup was something like this: X on a streak, B on a zig, A on a crosser, and RB on a flat. Now, the reason I have him on a zig instead of just that base flat that he's already on, which you could leave him on, is if it's man coverage. So if I just run like a stock man coverage, I know that I'm in a heavier set, so obviously he's going to get open. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty good play against man coverage. You have 3 man coverage beaters with the post, the crosser, and the other routes. The zig's just going to kill it. And if you left him on a flat, that would not get open. If your opponent, he's playing zone, which usually you can tell if he's playing zone or man when, he just comes out on the field. But even if you can't tell, motioning over will pretty much give it away if one of them goes over to the other side. Pretty simple stuff. But yeah, let's hop into some of the other things that you could go ahead and do. If I were to run a different route combo, I could always go with something, I believe, like this, where instead of the, zig, I actually put him on a backside slant. So this is going to give us options. I'm still going to leave Gronkowski on his same route, and I'm still going to motion Godwin over. But overall, this is going to give us just a little bit more diversity in that middle of the field. Geez, threw that very late, but the flats was wide open. That was just a bad read. Overall, that's something you could go ahead and do. If I wanted to, I could actually leave X on his spot route, and I can actually streak Godwin running something like this. Because back in the day, at least on Madden 20, this was a very popular route combination with A on a post, X on that spot. This is something you could do, especially if you were trying to catch him off guard, just with a little bit of quick snap. Let's just run like a cover 2, mix things up a bit. We'll snap that, and you see the flat's wide open. I can check down. Bad throw there, but the low ball slant's going to be open. The spot's going to be open as well as the post. I'll show that route combination one more time. Here's a look at it. And I've definitely talked about some other setups with this play. I've done a lot of videos on trips tight end. I've done different pro players' styles using this play. So if you want even more setups, you can definitely go check those out. I've done one with Joke, Fancy, a couple of pro players that run this. But yeah, you see, meant to throw it to the flats. But usually you can get that tight end over the top. I think cover 2 is just a bad defense. Most people will never run 3 vert hooks or 2 vert hooks and a mid read in the middle of the field. Usually you'll be looking at like 1-3 rec and then their user. So usually that won't be defended that good. And if they do decide to do that, you will have pretty much both flats open, so you can take advantage regardless. But yeah, it's pretty much going to do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, again, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Twitter. Link will be down below in the description. Peace. I'm out of here.